Today we're talking about Rolls-Royce. 52 facts about the brand that turned silence into luxury, made umbrellas famous, put stars in car ceilings, built cars for kings and billionaires, and somehow made too expensive feel like the whole point. Number 1. Rolls-Royce is not just a car brand. It is basically the final boss of luxury. Other companies sell leather, screens, speed, and status. Rolls-Royce sells the feeling that the outside world is too loud, too poor, and frankly not invited. It is not transportation. It is a private room with wheels. Number 2. The story started with two very different men, Henry Royce, the engineer, and Charles Rolls, the aristocratic salesman and car enthusiast. Royce built a car. Rolls knew how to sell excellence to the kind of people who expected the best of everything. Together, they created one of the most powerful names in automotive history. Number 3. Rolls-Royce officially became a company in 1906. That means the brand has been around for more than a century, surviving world wars, ownership changes, aviation history, financial drama, and the entire modern car industry. Most luxury brands try to look historic. Rolls-Royce actually is. Number 4. The Silver Ghost helped build the legend. Launched in the early Rolls-Royce era, it became famous for smoothness, silence, and reliability at a time when many cars were loud, fragile machines. The Silver Ghost was so impressive that Rolls-Royce became associated with the phrase, "the best car in the world." Number 5. Rolls-Royce names sound like haunted rich people: Ghost, Phantom, Spectre, Wraith, Shadow. Normal brands use numbers, animals, or random letters. Rolls-Royce uses names that feel like a billionaire disappearing into fog. The whole naming style says, "This car is expensive enough to be supernatural." Number 6. The spirit of Ecstasy is one of the most famous hood ornaments ever made. It first appeared in 1911 and was created by sculptor Charles Sykes. It is not just a logo. It is a tiny flying statue that tells everyone nearby, yes, this person spent serious money. Before we continue, if you enjoy videos like this, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. These videos take a lot of time, research, editing, and money to make, and your support really helps us keep going. Thank you. Number 7. The spirit of Ecstasy is connected to Eleanor Thornton, whose presence inspired the figurine. That makes the badge feel less like a corporate symbol and more like a piece of old-world scandal, romance, secrecy, and speed. Rolls-Royce somehow turned a hood ornament into mythology. Number 8. Modern Rolls-Royce cars can hide the spirit of Ecstasy when needed. On many modern models, the mascot can retract into the grille area. That is not just cool. It is very Rolls-Royce. Even the hood ornament behaves like it has private security. Number 9. The Phantom is Rolls-Royce royalty. The Phantom name goes back nearly 100 years, and today it remains the brand's ultimate flagship. A Phantom is not trying to be sporty or aggressive. It is trying to make every other luxury car feel like public transport. Number 10. Every modern Phantom can include something called the gallery. It is a glass-protected space across the dashboard where clients can place bespoke artwork. Most cars have trim. Rolls-Royce gives you a museum display inside the dashboard because apparently wood and carbon fiber were not rich enough. Number 11. Rolls-Royce's Starlight Headliner is one of its most famous modern features. It uses tiny lights in the roof to create the feeling of a night sky inside the car. Other brands offer panoramic roofs. Rolls-Royce looked at the sky and said, "We'll install our own." Number 12. The Starlight Headliner can be personalized in absurd ways. Rolls-Royce has created star patterns based on specific dates, locations, constellations, logos, and personal designs. Imagine being so rich that the stars above your birthplace can be recreated above your rear seats. Number 13. Rolls-Royce puts umbrellas inside the doors. Not in the trunk. Not in a cheap holder. Inside the actual doors. It is one of those tiny details that sounds ridiculous until it rains and a rich person steps out completely dry, while everyone else looks like background characters. Number 14. The doors on many Rolls-Royce models are rear-hinged, often called coach doors. They make entering and exiting feel dramatic, elegant, and slightly royal. Normal cars open doors. Rolls-Royce stages an arrival. Number 15. A Rolls-Royce is obsessed with silence. The brand uses huge amounts of insulation, careful engineering, smooth power delivery, and detail work to make the cabin feel separated from the world. In a loud supercar, noise is the point. In a Rolls-Royce, not hearing anything is the point. Number 16. Rolls-Royce has a famous phrase around comfort, the magic carpet ride. That is the feeling the cars try to create, floating instead of driving. The goal is not to feel every corner or crack in the road. The goal is to forget roads are a problem humans invented. Number 17. Modern Rolls-Royce cars are often powered by large, smooth V12 engines. The engine is not there to scream. It is there to move a giant luxury object with effortless force. A Rolls-Royce does not accelerate like it is angry. It accelerates like physics signed an NDA. Number 18. Rolls-Royce does not like shouting horsepower numbers the way supercar brands do. The whole brand personality is built around effortlessness. In a Lamborghini, power feels loud. In a Rolls-Royce, power feels like a butler quietly solving a problem before you notice it exists. Number 19. The Cullinan was Rolls-Royce's first SUV, and it instantly became one of the most recognizable luxury SUVs in the world. Some people thought Rolls-Royce should never build an SUV. Then billionaires, celebrities, and rappers bought it anyway, because of course they did. Number 20. The Cullinan is named after the Cullinan diamond, one of the most famous diamonds ever discovered. That is such a Rolls-Royce name choice. Other SUVs are named after mountains or animals. Rolls-Royce named its SUV after a giant diamond because subtlety left the building. Number 21. The Cullinan is not pretending to be a cheap adventure vehicle. It can go off-road, but the real image is not camping in mud. It is arriving at a ski resort, a mansion, a private airport, or a music video while looking impossible to ignore. Number 22. The Ghost is supposed to be the more understated Rolls-Royce, which is hilarious because it is still a giant ultra-luxury sedan. Rolls-Royce understatement is not normal understatement. It is the kind of understatement where the car still costs more than many houses. Number 23. The Ghost name itself goes back to the Silver Ghost idea. Smooth, silent, almost unreal. That is what Rolls-Royce wants people to feel. The car should not feel like a machine struggling to move. It should feel like it is gliding through the world without asking permission. Number 24. The Wraith was Rolls-Royce's dramatic coupe. It had a sleeker shape, more attitude, and a darker image than the Phantom. It was the car for someone who wanted Rolls-Royce luxury, but with a little more villain energy. Number 25. The Dawn was the convertible Rolls-Royce for people who wanted luxury and sunlight at the same time. A convertible usually means wind, noise, and drama. In a Rolls-Royce Dawn, even fresh air had to behave politely. Number 26. Rolls-Royce created black badge versions for clients who wanted a darker, more aggressive personality. Black badge is basically Rolls-Royce admitting that some rich people do not want to look royal. They want to look dangerous, mysterious, and expensive at the same time. Number 27. Black badge models often bring darker trim, stronger visual attitude, and a more performance-focused personality. It is not a track day package in the normal sense. It is more like the car went from old money palace to billionaire nightclub. Number 28. Rolls-Royce has one of the most extreme bespoke programs in the car world. Clients can choose colors, materials, embroidery, wood, art, lighting, personal symbols, and design details at a level that makes normal car options look embarrassing. Number 29. A normal person worries whether to choose black or white paint. A Rolls-Royce client can commission a color inspired by a flower, a yacht, a gemstone, a family memory, or some object only 3 people in the world know about. Rolls-Royce customization is basically emotional damage with a paint code. Number 30. Rolls-Royce interiors can include embroidery with thousands of stitches. The brand treats seats, doors, headliners, and dashboards like canvases. In most cars, stitching is decoration. In a Rolls-Royce, stitching can become a personal biography. Number 31. Some Rolls-Royce commissions are one-of-one creations. That means the owner is not just buying a car. They are buying the idea that nobody else has exactly the same one. Luxury is not only about price. It is about exclusion. Number 32. Rolls-Royce brought back serious coach building with cars, like the boat tail and other ultra-bespoke projects. Coach building means creating something far beyond normal factory options. It is the kind of thing you request when even a normal Rolls-Royce feels too common. Number 33. The Sweptail became famous as a modern coach-built Rolls-Royce with a yacht-like rear design. It showed that Rolls-Royce could still create cars that feel less like products and more like personal monuments. Number 34. Rolls-Royce is not actually the same company as Rolls-Royce plc today. The modern car company is Rolls-Royce Motor Cars, owned by BMW Group. Rolls-Royce plc is the famous engineering company connected to aviation, defense, and power systems. Same legendary name, very different businesses. Number 35. The ownership story of Rolls-Royce cars got confusing in the late 1990s. Volkswagen ended up with parts of the old Rolls-Royce/Bentley car business, while BMW secured the rights to build cars under the Rolls-Royce name. That is why Bentley stayed connected to Volkswagen, while modern Rolls-Royce motor cars became BMW-owned. Number 36. Modern Rolls-Royce production is centered at Goodwood in England. The Goodwood plant opened in 2003, and every modern Rolls-Royce motor car is designed and hand-built there. That matters because the brand needs to feel British, crafted, and exclusive, even while using serious BMW Group backing. Number 37. Goodwood started much smaller than it is now. Rolls-Royce says that when the plant opened in 2003, around 300 people were building one motor car per day. Today, Goodwood is a much larger operation, built around craft, bespoke work, and extremely low-volume luxury manufacturing. Number 38. Rolls-Royce announced a major investment in Goodwood to expand its ability to handle even more ambitious bespoke and coach-build projects. That tells you where the brand is going. It is not trying to become mass market. It is trying to become more personal, more custom, and probably more expensive. Number 39. The Rolls-Royce name is also legendary in aviation. During World War II, the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine-powered aircraft like the Spitfire and Hurricane. So the name is not only connected to quiet luxury cars. It is also connected to machines that helped shape history. Number 40. Rolls-Royce built a reputation for engineering long before modern luxury branding took over. The company was not just about soft carpets and rich people. It became famous because the machines were genuinely advanced, smooth, and reliable for their time. Number 41. Rolls-Royce once owned Bentley. In 1931, Rolls-Royce acquired Bentley after Bentley ran into financial trouble. That is why for decades, Rolls-Royce and Bentley were closely related. One became the ultra-formal luxury image. The other carried more of the sporting gentleman personality. Number 42. For a long time, Bentley and Rolls-Royce models were mechanically connected. Sometimes they were extremely similar under the skin, just wearing different styling and brand personalities. That is wild when you think about it. Two of the most famous luxury names in the world sharing family drama behind the scenes. Number 43. The Silver Shadow became one of the most important Rolls-Royce models because it moved the brand into a more modern era. It used more modern construction than the old coachbuilt style cars and became one of the best-known classic Rolls-Royces ever. Number 44. Old Rolls-Royce cars were often associated with aristocrats, royalty, movie stars, dictators, business tycoons, and people who wanted the world to know they had arrived. A Rolls-Royce has always been more than a vehicle. It is social signaling with a grille. Number 45. John Lennon owned a famous psychedelic Rolls-Royce Phantom V. The car became one of the wildest celebrity Rolls-Royces ever because it took a symbol of traditional British luxury and covered it in bright, rebellious, psychedelic artwork. It was basically old money having a nervous breakdown in color. Number 46. Rolls-Royce cars are usually not bought because they are practical. They are bought because of what they say. A Rolls-Royce says the owner does not need to explain the price, the fuel economy, the size, or the logic. The car's entire message is, "Because I can." Number 47. The Spectre is Rolls-Royce's first fully electric production car. And honestly, electric power makes a lot of sense for Rolls-Royce. The brand has always chased silence, smoothness, and effortless torque. Electric motors are basically Rolls-Royce values turned into hardware. Number 48. Rolls-Royce describes Spectre as a Rolls-Royce first and an electric car second. That is important. They did not want people to think of it as a tech gadget. They wanted it to feel like a real Rolls-Royce that happens to be electric. Number 49. Charles Rolls was actually interested in electric cars long before modern EV hype. He reportedly praised early electric drive for being clean and quiet, but limited by charging infrastructure. That makes Spectre feel less like Rolls-Royce chasing a trend and more like an old idea finally becoming possible. Number 50. Rolls-Royce does not chase young buyers in the normal way. It chases people who want identity, privacy, craftsmanship, and control. The brand is not trying to be relatable. Relatable is for brands that need volume. Rolls-Royce is trying to be untouchable. Number 51. The funniest thing about Rolls-Royce is how calm the cars look while being completely absurd. Stars in the ceiling, art in the dashboard, umbrellas in the doors, custom paint, silent V12 power, massive price tags, and yet the car never screams. It just quietly tells everyone else to move. Number 52. Rolls-Royce is ridiculous because it turns every normal car idea into luxury theater. A roof becomes a night sky. A dashboard becomes an art gallery. A door becomes an entrance ceremony. A quiet cabin becomes status. That is why Rolls-Royce still matters. It does not just build expensive cars. It builds the fantasy of being above ordinary life.